Afternoon, dear student. Today we're going to learn about the concept of vertical circular motion. So, in vertical circular motion, what is the exact meaning of vertical circular motion? You can see it from this particular definition. What it says that a body revolving in a vertical circle, that means it is in this particular manner, in an anti-clockwise sense. When a body is revolving in a vertical circle such that its motion at different points is different, then the motion of the body is said to be vertical circular motion. So what it says that its motion, that means its speed at different point will be different. So this point we are considering the point H. It is actually the highest point. It is the highest point. This particular point, that is point L, this is the lowest point. Point M and N both are actually the midway point, that is the intermediate point. So according to vertical circular motion, according to definition, what it says that the velocity of the particle at the highest point. So the velocity of the particle at the highest point we have jotted down with VH, and the velocity of the particle at the lowest point, it is VL, and the velocity at the intermediate point, it will be Vm. So at each and every point the velocity will be different. Then only it is said to be that the circular motion is nothing but it is vertical circular motion. And in this case we can see that we have to consider that the velocity at the lowest point, that is this particular point, that is the lowest point, that is VL, is actually greater than VH, that is at the highest point. And at this particular point, Vm and Vn, it will be between the lowest and the highest point. Okay. Here there are different examples are also there for VCM. Examples of VCM, the first example of VCM is roller coaster. That is one example. The other example, that is a bucket of water which is revolve in a horizontal circle, in a vertical circle. So whenever we are trying to fill the bucket with water and trying to revolve in a vertical circular motion, so this is also one of the example of vertical circle. So here these two examples are there. Now here you can see that what is exactly in this particular figure. Here you can see that this is the center O. Here this you can see that any object is kept, that is at point P. At point P, the object what it has kept, it is nothing but it is a small bob. It is a small bob. Now that's why it is said to be what? Consider an object of mass m. So the bob is having a mass m, tied at one end. Tied at which end? This particular end. And of it tied at one end with the help of a string which is inextensible and which is whirled in a vertical circle of radius r. So radius r, this will be my radius r from point O to P. Here you can say that there is one notation is given, that is notation called to be T. When the bob is very heavy, so obviously it will going to provide tension along the string. So this is the direction of the tension, that is which is coming along the string. Okay, so these are the points you have to remember, that is center point, point P where the bob is kept, tension T where it will be going to act along the string, point H highest point, point L lowest point, point N M intermediate point, VH is the speed at velocity at the highest point, Vm is the velocity at the intermediate point, Vl is the velocity at the lowest point, and the direction of all the velocities will be always tangential. You can see that this here also it is tangential, here also tangential, here also it is tangential. So today with respect to this particular topic, that is called to be vertical circular motion, we'll actually going to find out the one derivation, the derivation called to be it is nothing but the derivation of velocity, that is derives the expression for linear velocity at lowest point, midway point and top point for a particle revolving in a vertical circle. So we have to find out the velocity at the highest point, velocity at the lowest point, velocity at the intermediate point. So step by step we're going to find out the velocity of the particle at different points. So first of all, you can see that it is velocity at the highest point. So at this particular point we are going to find out the velocity. So we're going to find out the expression for VH. So this we have to find. Okay, before finding it, now you can see that the bob is starting its motion from this lowest point and it is going up in this particular manner. Okay, now when it is going up in this particular manner, so obviously what will going to happen, it has to come down also from this particular point and again to L. So in order to follow the vertical circular motion, the object should have some sort of velocity, that is VH. It required at least some minimum velocity. So for that condition we should have one specific condition, that the value of tension at the highest point should be 0. So here you can see that the tension should be 0. If this is equal to 0, then only what will going to happen, the bob will going to follow a vertical circular motion. Why it should be 0? Because if it becomes 0, if it is not 0, then what will going to happen, there will be chances of slackening of the string. Now what is the meaning of slackening of string? Slackening means or loosening of the string. So what will going to happen, the string will become loose. And when it will going to become loose, so obviously what will going to happen, the bob will travel from this particular point and it will come up and it will try to fall down like this, and it will not going to follow the VCM. So for finding the velocity at the highest point, we should keep in mind that the tension at the highest point should be 0. Then only we can find out. Now here, by looking at the diagram, we have to do the balancing of the equation. So here we have taken the condition is what, that TH, that is the value of TH should be equal to 0. So by looking at the diagram, you can see that the direction of weight of the bob at the highest point. At the highest point, it will be downward. Weight of the bob will be downward. So that's why weight is coming downward, as well as the tension is also along the string. So it is also downward. But these two are actually pointing towards the center. And we know that at the center, which force will going to act? At the center, FCP will going to act. That is a centripetal force. So first of all, weight and tension, they will try to balance with the centripetal force. So by looking at this, we can develop the equation. So first of all, you can see that I can say that TH plus mg. TH plus mg means both are in the same direction. It is actually equal to mv square upon r. R is the radius. So here the velocity at the highest point, that we have to find out VH, the value of VH. So that's why I can write on this is VH. Okay. Now here what we have taken, the condition is what? TH is equal to 0. So obviously I will want to put 0 plus mg is equal to mvh square upon r. Okay. So obviously I will take this on the left side, that is mvh square upon r is equal to mg. Therefore m and m will going to get cancelled. Vh square is equal to rg, and hence therefore Vh is equal to under root of rg. So here you can see that there this is the required expression for velocity, and this is the required expression for velocity at the highest point, that is our point is point H. Next we are going to find out the velocity at the lowest point. So how we have found out the velocity at the highest point? So here we have considered that the condition is what? TH should be equal to 0. The tension at the highest point should be 0. So therefore by looking at the diagram, we have done the balancing of the equation. So the balancing of the equation is like that TH plus mg is equal to mv square h upon r. mv square h upon r because of the centripetal force. So 0 plus mg is equal to mvh square upon r. Therefore mv square h upon r is equal to mg, and at the end what we are going to find out that the velocity at the highest point is what? Under root of rg. So here what velocity we got? Vh is equal to under root of rg. Okay. Next we are going to find out the velocity at the lowest point. Same diagram, velocity at the lowest point. Okay. For finding the velocity at the lowest point, it is very like simple only. What we have to do actually at the lowest point. So we are finding the velocity at the lowest point, that is VL is equal to what? So in this case, what I will do, I will just take the conservation of energy. Okay. So by taking the conservation of energy between point L and H, that is at the lowest point and the highest point. So I have to write down that the total energy at lowest point is equal to total energy at the highest point. Okay. So that is according to conservation of energy. Total energy means what? Kinetic energy at the lowest plus potential energy at the lowest is equal to kinetic energy at the highest plus potential energy at the potential energy at the highest. Okay. So kinetic energy at the lowest, that is at the lowest point, is given by half mv L square, because lowest point is velocity is VL, plus mgHL, because this is the height at the lowest point, is equal to half m v h square, because velocity at the highest point, plus for potential energy mg h, that is at the highest point. So before this we have to check what is the value of HL and HH. This we have to check. So since we are considering that the object is starting from this particular point, so that means the object has not covered any height at point L. So I can write on HL is equal to 0. At this particular point, at the highest point, the particle has covered this much R and this much R, that is equal to 2R. So it has covered a height of 2R. So that's why HH is equal to what? 2R. Same thing we're going to substitute in the above equation. So what we're going to get? Half, that is with respect to this equation, half m VL square. This part has become 0 because it is HL is equal to 0. So this I will write on 0 is equal to half mvh square. Now half VH, we have already found that VH is under root of RG, so that's why this will be RG. Okay, so we have VH we have got, plus mgh HH mg 2R. So here what we have substituted actually in this case, we have substituted that VH is equal to under root of RG. So that's why VH square becomes RG and HH is equal to 2R. So that's why, therefore, what does the equation becomes? Half mvl square is equal to half mrg plus 2 plus 2 mrg. So we got this plus 2 mrg with respect to the above equation. Now I can write down this equation as also like that: half mvl square is equal to half mrg plus half 4 mrg. So this I have only multiplied by 2. So this you have simple mathematics. Now what I will do, I will just cancel what we are going to get common from both the end. Half mvl square is equal to half m I am considering common from both sides, so it will be rg, then this will be plus 4 rg. Okay, so you can see that half cancels from both sides, m cancel from both sides, so VL square is equal to 5 rg. Therefore VL is equal to under root of 5 rg, under root of 5 rg. So we have got, this is the required formula, that is VL is equal to under root of 5 rg. Okay, so this is the velocity at lowest point, that is point L. Okay, so we got the expression for velocity at the lowest point. Here we got under root of 5 rg, that is here VL is equal to under root of 5 rg. Here we got VH is equal to under root of rg. Now we have to find out the velocity at the intermediate point. So at the intermediate point, so that is nothing but this is a velocity at the midway point, same diagram, that is at the intermediate point, that is point M and N. So we have to find out the velocity at M or velocity at N. So this we have to find out, that will be what. Again we are going to take the concept of conservation of energy. So again the conservation of energy concept. So we are going to consider 2 points, that is point L and point M. So total energy at point M is equal to total energy at point L. Okay, that is kinetic energy at M plus potential energy at M is equal to kinetic energy at L plus potential energy at L. Again kinetic energy is half mvm square plus mghm, the height is hm, is equal to half m, this half m VL square plus mghl for this. So first of all, to find out what is hm and what is hl. So hm is here, that means the object has gone from this point to this point, that means it has covered a distance of r. So hm is r and this is 0, because there is nothing is there, height has not covered, so 0. Therefore the above equation, this equation becomes half m vm square plus mgr because hm becomes r, so this is hm becomes r. Now is equal to now this part half m VL square. VL square, we have already got this formula. VL is what, under root of 5 rg plus this part is going to become 0 because HL is 0. This is 0. Therefore half mvm square from this point plus mgr or mrg, you can say, is one and the same thing, is equal to 5 by 2 mrg. Okay, now I will take this that side, so it will be half mvm square because I have to find out the formula for vm. 5 by 2 mrg minus mrg, that means this has come this side. Therefore is equal to half mvm square, this will multiply this, so 5, it will be somewhat like this, 5 mrg minus 2 mrg upon 2, so this will be 3 mrg upon 2 half mvm square. So this will cancel, this will cancel, this will cancel, this will cancel. So remaining will be what? Vm square is equal to 3 Rg. Therefore Vm is equal to under root of 3 Rg. So this is the required expression, that is the velocity at midway point, that is point M or N. So I hope that, dear student, you have understood the concept of vertical circular motion as well as this particular expression where we got the velocity at different point. That is, at the first we got the velocity at the highest point. So highest point we got under root of Rg. At the lowest point we got under root of 5 Rg, and at the intermediate point we got under root of 3 Rg. So we're going to meet next time with some another topic in my next lecture. Thank you very much.